New YouTube, the man always just made, aka the Emperor of WMA Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Anyway, last night was a major event, UFC 275 in Singapore. And this was a fight where he had the main event was Yuri Shashaka, if I got his name wrong, I'm sorry, versus Glover Texator for the men's 205 title. You know, Glover is one of the oldest fighters to hold this title, and I think this is his first or second title defense, I believe. But then you have on the co-main event is Valentin Shevchenko, the Bullet, versus Tana Santos for the women's flyweight title, and then also you had the undercard in that bit. I mean, this was a good night for women's MMA after the last pay per view where it's kind of shitty, but it was a good night for women's MMA when you had Joanna versus Wale Zhang 2, and they were the undercard on the undercard. Wow, that's pretty good. I mean, you know, it's great. I mean, really, women MMA definitely needed this after a couple of some mishaps. But anyway, and, you know, this was the fight I'm really going to talk about because, you know, you follow my channel. You know, I am a big Valentina fan. She's an amazing person. I really respect her as a fighter, as a person. She is the champion of champions. She is, I said again, she is a chess master playing with checker players. And Taylor Santos is an up and comer. I mean, she's young, she's talented. I mean, she has she's a good prospect. So anyway, we had the face off, and you know, on social media, you saw that how Valentina's really confident. And so is Talia. You can't deny that they're both confident women, you know, and they really want the opportunity to prove themselves. And Valentina, this was going to be her seventh title defense since she got the title about it's almost been like 3 years ago when she got the title. When she fought against Priscilla Cachoeira, and she beat the crap out of her. And then she fought against Joanna and for the title. And you know, she really has been a champion, a fighting champion, compared to certain other fighting champions. Former double champ we want to talk about. We're not gonna mention. And the showdown was they look at I mean, they just you look at them, look at Tash, you look at dead in the eyes, just you know, look at her jaws clenching. And I said, Valentina got a nice body. So does Italia. I mean, I'm sorry, you know. So again, I am a muscle man. I'm a female muscle simp. So so I can't help when I know it's women with great physical attributes. So anyway, we're going in here. The champion, who's 34, and the challenger's 28. That's the thing. You could be advantaged, but also experience does. And this was going to be the fight of the century to me, in my opinion. Probably one of the best WWE fight since I think the last title fight was between Pena versus Nunes, and you know they kind of feel each other out in the first round. You know, Tag do some strikes, and you know Valentina do a few strikes. They kind of just went back for a good part, and then you know they were just going at it pretty good strong. Then Talia, actually Valentina had Talia against the cage using underhooks, and then later on Valentina Talia switched it. Then it got onto the ground where she had a couple of submission attempts, like what rear naked choke, but Valentina fall out of those rear naked choke attempts. And then one point, Talia mounted Valentina. She was on top, but still Valentina was still fighting. And then eventually the referee saw they wasn't doing much, so they got him stood him back up again. And they were going for here. We get Valentina kicking Talia in the titty because that's her kick is her kicks are her things. She has knocked people out with those kicks. She has pushed people back with her push kicks, and her flying roundhouse kicks are just dangerous. Then around about the third round, there was a clash of heads, and Talia she had a good a nasty bust across the eye. In one point they might even think about stopping the fight, but she said she could see. But really, I think what happened was that issue with her sight was really giving her problems. And just Valentina just went hard at her. I mean, she's throwing her best shots, but Talia was still going at it. She was still taking her and throwing back. But one thing I think, by the time they got to around the fourth round, I think Talia was really starting to lose some steam. I think, like I said, my man coach, he did a live stream and he talked about it a good bit. And I later on went on, and all you gotta do is go on YouTube and you can find the fight. I was watching a good bit of the fight, so somehow I think YouTube found it and then they cut it short. But from all the other stuff I saw, it was just by the fifth round, Valentina was just putting on. She just throwing punches and bunches, throwing her kicks. And Talia would put a good defense, but then they got against the cage, and Talia tried to attempt another took rear naked choke. And in the fight, I think Talia got at least 3 takedowns compared to I think Valentina had 2. But it was really close. I mean, and at the end when it's all over, said it done, Valentina knew she won because of the fact that she was confident in her skill set. Valentina, she has great skill set. Even when she's in situations where it might be difficulty, she knows how to adjust. And that's why with some fighters they don't know how to do that. So at the end, Valentina won. Congratulations. Tough break to Tyler Santos. I mean, I felt like she was going to win. Yeah, even though if people can say, well, she's the headbutt, maybe nah. Even with that headbutt, I feel like some point that Valentina's skill set was going to kick in and outdo her strength and her size. Like I said, truthfully, Talia is a much bigger girl. She probably, maybe walking around, she might outweigh Valentina by 10 pounds, and she had slightly the height advantage, and plus her youth. But Valentina's experience as a fighter has won out. Her experience is being how long she's fighting for all these years. But like I said, as I was talking, when my man coach was talking, time stands for no one. Eventually, she's 34 now, and sometimes you slow down, but she knows how to make adjustments. So the big question is, who next? Who's next? Who's next? And that's for my man Conor Breaker. He likes to put on when he does his commentary sometimes. But yeah, who's next? There's a possible rematch. But knowing Dana White, I don't know. A rematch is possible because this fight went the distance, and it was a fight by split decision, not like with the fight with Maya when it went the distance, and it was like unanimous decision because Maya only won one round by Jennifer Maya, and then like the fight with Joanna, that went the distance, but her and Joanna had a history. Joanna knew her skill set, and still she didn't beat her. But the question is there going to be a rematch? Who knows? Knowing Dana White, he has his favorite fighters. He give him rematches. He feel like, especially Conor McGregor. How many times he fought Dustin Poirier, it's just up in the air. It's really up to Dana how he feels like if he really thinks that Ty deserves another shot at the title. But more likely, what Dana's going to do, he's going to focus on his upcoming prospects like Alexa Grasso, Manon Ferriat. Those two ladies, as they got some fights coming up. Manon's going to be fighting Caitlin Choke, who fought Valentina about a couple years back and lost. And and Alexa is going to fight Viviana Araujo in I think in about a couple of months. And if Alexa, who I think has a bit of skill set, Vivi has this one of the worst cardio issues in the fight, and she does pretty good. But if Alexa can get past Vivi, what's going to happen? I feel like this. I think most definitely she's probably going to get a shot after Manon. I think if Manon beats Choke, she's gonna get a title shot. Then also you can't forget there's Lauren Murphy versus Misha Tate. I don't think Misha Tate deserves a shot at anything. I think she just needs to maybe take on somebody later on. She don't need a shot at Valentina. She don't have a chance either. But like I said, the champ is here. The champ's here. And there's a good chance that hell she might even retire a champion. She already surpassed both Joanna, who was I think she had 5 title defenses as strawweight champion before she lost to Rose, and also Ronda Rousey, who had at least I think 4 or 5, I believe. I'm trying to remember, it's been a while. But she has been a dominant champ for even she surpasses the former double jump champ, Amanda Nunes. Because I think Amanda had, see, we kind of count, she defeated Ronda Rousey, then she who else was Ronda Rousey after that. Then her 2 fights against her fight against Valentina, her second fight against Valentina. Uh, I mean, also a fight against you know you know Jermaine Duranamy. So I think she surpassed Amanda Nunes by 1 fight. I think Amanda had at least 6 title defenses, but you gotta think about it. That's within maybe 4 or 5 years span compared to Valentina, who did 7, and that's was barely after she just got title within 3 years span. So that's pretty good because fact she's a constant fighter. She's a fighting champ compared to Amanda Nunes, who usually waits about to the end of the year and maybe only fight 1 fight out of the whole year. But we all know she's going to be having a fight coming up soon this year against Julianne Pena. Let's talk about maybe her fighting Julianne Pena, but don't do that. Don't do that. Forget about Julianne Pena. Let Julianne Pena have her day in the sun. Let her enjoy being a champion. I don't think your first fight you barely won, but you got that armbar in, and you don't want to go back to 135. The girls are getting bigger and stronger in that division, and especially Juliana. So I think she should concentrate on the women in her division, and then she cleans out the division and maybe get a rematch with Talia. Let's go ahead and retire. I mean, I know she don't want to do that, but she has, she's still like, even though she's just in her early 30s, she's still a young woman. So I think for best for Valentina is just concentrate, sit out the rest of the year. You did a played enough. Just I know we love you as a fighting champion, but maybe sit out the rest of this year and then just enjoy your life. Do your little traveling like you like to do. Enjoy yourself. You don't have, you don't have to, you proven yourself. You took on a tough opponent and you defeated him. And a lot of people are acting like it's like that scene from Rocky 4 when Rocky hits Ivan Drago and cut him. And then Tony, remember the guy played Tony Baker who played, in the Rocky movies as a corner man. He said like, "You cut him. He's not a machine. He's a man. He's a man." Yes, Valentina is human, and as I said again, she's the daughter of Ivan Drago. But the fact is, she's still a dominant champion, and she has still a great skill set. Now, like I said, yes, I'm a Valentina fanboy. I admit it. I'm a fan of hers. But like I said, yeah, I'm being honest with myself. And you get people like X23, who's a hater. Let them hate till they can't hate no more, Valentina. That's all I can say. But like I said, I want to say congratulations to the champ. Whatever you're gonna do this year, the rest of the year, I think enjoy it. Sit back, sit in the shade and drink lemonade. But like I said, keep it up. Because you are one of the best women in your division and just in overall. Anyway, this is man always just made, aka the Emperor of WMA Talk. Don't subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.